Hello and welcome to Week 3 Forum, Environmental Science and Policy 504, Fisheries and Dams. For this week's forum, I chose the Lower Connecticut River, and I'll be looking at 6 different dams on the main stem, including 3 tributaries over a 122-mile stretch from northern Massachusetts to Long Island Sound. I'll be looking at the 4 species most impacted by the dams, and there are a few others that have seen severe declines as well. The watershed itself extends for 410 miles from southern Canada through 4 New England states and then eventually into the Long Island Sound. Here's a map showing 22 selected dams on the main stem and some tributaries, and note that there are over 1,000 dams in this watershed alone. My study area will cover from number 6 Turners Falls Dam in Montague, Massachusetts, all the way south to Leesville Dam in Haddam, Connecticut. We start with Turners Falls Dam in Montague, which was constructed in 1798 and was the first dam to go across the Connecticut River. It's one of 2 dams in my study area that cross the main stem itself. After Turners Falls went in, the Atlantic salmon fishery collapsed in the Connecticut River watershed. Following Turners Falls is Holyoke Dam, installed in 1895, used for hydroelectric. This dam has historically caused problems for short-nosed sturgeon and American shad. Next, the West Springfield Dam on the West Springfield River is about 75 miles from the Long Island Sound and is used for hydroelectric. The Enfield Dam I put in here because it's listed by the National Inventory of Dams, but it's missing because it was destroyed in the 1940s using dynamite. You can see the riffling effect as the remnants are still submerged. Number 2, Rainbow Dam on the Farmington River in Connecticut. This is a tributary to the Connecticut River. It's about 57 miles from the Long Island Sound, and it's used for hydroelectric purposes. And finally, Leesville Dam in Haddam, Connecticut. This dam is located on the Salmon River, which is a tributary to the Connecticut, and is about 18 miles from the Long Island Sound. Notice the keep-off fishway and dam in the photograph. There are 4 species of fish most severely impacted by dams in my study area. And we'll start with the American eel, which is catadromous. It spawns in salt water and spends its adult life in fresh water. Eels have been in the decline for several years. They have been installing eel passages on smaller dams over the past few years, so something is being done about the eel. The Atlantic salmon is a major problem. It's not been seen in the river for over 200 years, except for the occasional salmon here and there. In fact, last fall they found 3 egg masses in the Farmington River. They're hopeful that this may signal a comeback of the Atlantic salmon. The American shad was historically very important for economic purposes. It's been overfished, and it is currently in decline. They do count these at the fish passages at these dams, and the numbers are still much lower than historic. Finally, short-nosed sturgeon, which is listed as endangered across its range, has suffered from pollution, habitat destruction, overharvesting, and the Holyoke and Turners Falls dams especially. Here's a look at the migration possibility for fish in the current regime with dams in the absence of fish passageways. And you can see when you add the fish passages, it extends the availability of smaller order streams and tributaries significantly, but you can see there's still quite a bit of watershed left that's available, but still being blocked by very small dams on these small streams. The Connecticut River watershed is a biodiversity hotspot. You have inland freshwater fishes meeting marine fishes, the diadromous species traveling in between salt and fresh waters. But all of this meets up with a heavily urbanized landscape. So conservation and management is very important in these areas if you want to see these fish continue to survive. I think we need to do a lot in the Connecticut River about water quality, habitat protection, as well as better and more passages and lifts. But at least there have been things accomplished over the past several years, and some increases in spawning habitat and increases in the numbers of runs of certain species, such as the blueback herring and alewives. The sea lamprey is another species affected by the dams. We shall see what the future holds for fisheries in the Connecticut River that require long distance travel up into their spawning habitat.